All right, no winner yet in New Jersey's special primary election, but a left-wing activist endorsed by progressives like Senator Sanders and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez appears to be on the cusp of a major upset. Just this morning, she doubled down on calls to abolish ICE.
ICE is completely overreaching. It's a bloated agency that I believe cannot be reformed. It must be replaced by something that isn't violent, that isn't shooting Americans in the streets, that is respecting our Constitution, and that resonated with folks.
All right, let's bring in Hugh Hewitt, Fox News contributor and host of the Hugh Hewitt Show. Hugh, welcome to you. That is Ana Lilia Mejia, making it very clear that if elected, she will seek to abolish ICE. Your reaction?
Well, she is a far-left socialist. She comes from the Bernie Sanders campaign organization. She was endorsed by AOC, and she would be a member of the squad if indeed she hangs on to her less than 500 vote lead. There are about 6,000 votes to count, and in New Jersey's obscure rules, votes can still be delivered today, and I think a couple more days if they were postmarked by Election Day. So it's not over yet for her and her key opponent, Mr. Malinowski, who used to be a congressman. The key message here, not only is she far left, if she wins, she'll win with 28 to 29%, Sanders. So it's not a huge landslide for the far left, but it's a first turning of the corner for the squad, who lost Bowman and Bush in the last election cycle, two members of the squad. So they needed a win. They might pick up a win here. The key thing about this race, Sandra, is that AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, spent heavily against the former Congressman Malinowski after he attempted to hedge whether or not he would support Israel, regardless of who was the prime minister. He said, I'm not going to write a blank check to Bibi Netanyahu. AIPAC unleashed a $2 million buy against him in order to drive home the fact that it doesn't matter if you are on the fence versus someone who's very anti-Israel, and Mejia is. She's very anti-Israel. But they want clarity before they do an endorsement, and they want an absolute certainty on existential issues that the Congress people that the Democrats have are known for either being solidly behind Israel or against them. They don't want fence sitters, and that's the message sent and received last night in New Jersey.
Got it. Ana Lilia Mejia's policy positions don't just include abolishing ICE, Hugh. We can lay them out for our audience. She wants to cancel all student loan debt, impeach Thomas and Alito, expand the court, essential health care she's calling for trans people, Medicare for all, and, as we have been discussing, abolish ICE. This could be, Hugh, a big test for the Democrat Party to see what issues really are resonating within the party. What do you expect will come from that? Is this going to be about abolish ICE or something else?
That is, AIPAC ran ads against Mr. Malinowski that were about immigration, not about Israel, about immigration. So it is the immigration issue that they attacked him on. And the far left side of the Democratic Party does not believe in borders, does not believe in immigration enforcement, and they are very, very strident on it. But it's also a Gaza issue, an Israel issue, and it's a question, I think, an early scope on the 2028 nominee. Ms. Mejia is certainly a stalking horse for AOC if she decides to run in the 2028 primaries. It's a good night in the world of the far-left Democratic Party if they can pull this off, a good week if they can pull this off. But boy, the Democrats in the center-left, like Governor Shapiro and others, have got to be wondering what's happening to their party as it slips further and further away from the reality that most Americans, 80-20, 90-10, believe in enforcement of the immigration laws, at least against dangerous criminals, and they want the border secured. They don't want to abolish ICE. So Republicans are kind of happy that this rhetoric is rising. I would welcome clarity on this issue. The idea she wants to impeach Alito and Thomas means she's otherworldly in her goals, but that's just fine if you're a Republican. Democrats have got heartburn this morning because she is so radical, and she's ahead right now.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders obviously supporting Mejia. He, at the Fighting Oligarchy rally on January 19th, said it's not good enough to elect establishment Democrats, Hugh. He says what we've got to do is not only defeat Republicans, it's not good enough to elect established Democrats. This is going to get interesting, Hugh.
Bernie Sanders has been consistently radical for his entire career. He's never had traction outside of Vermont until the last 8 years, and that traction has been growing. He has passed the baton to AOC. AOC also endorsed Mejia. Sanders is going to fade. He must decrease so that AOC may increase. And I really do think AOC would be nuts not to run for president in a fractured field in 2028 because she will have this hard left 20. Mejia's getting about 28.5% right now. Good test of the Democratic primary electorate. If you can get 28.5% in the Democratic primaries come 2028, you're going to be their nominee. And if you're their nominee, you got a shot at the White House. If you want to change the country, AOC should step up and take on the chat. It's not going to work, but she should try.
Quite the setup, quite the challenge. Hugh Hewitt, always great to have you on the program. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks, Sandra.
All right, John.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.